I hope you're all doing well. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Malin, and today I'm going to share a pretty easygoing and very fresh vegan 3-course menu with you guys, inspired by my very own mother, because this month it's Mother's Day in many different countries on different days. I know that in the US it's on the 9th, and here in Sweden it's always the last Sunday of May, so don't forget that. And yeah, this has brought me to make this menu with my mother in mind, and I've also kept it really light and fresh for spring. But before I tell you more about the menu, I want to thank Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Ana Luisa is a sustainable jewelry brand based in New York City. I've been wearing my Ana Luisa pieces every single day since I started working with them over a year ago, and I really enjoy them because they are timeless but like with a modern twist, and they're really easy to mix and match and pair up with pretty much any outfit, whether it's sort of dressed up or dressed down. Beyond the look and style, I really appreciate that Ana Luisa use recycled materials in their jewelry, and they also care about the working conditions in the production of their pieces. They also use carbon offsetting and work with limited batches to reduce waste, and with all that in mind, I think that an Ana Luisa piece would make a really lovely Mother's Day gift, either for yourself or for a mother you'd like to celebrate. And I also want to say that the prices are really reasonable, starting at $39 for a piece and ranging up higher for their lab-grown diamond range. But no matter what the price, I've always been really happy with my pieces from Ana Luisa. And at the moment they have a Mother's Day sale which gives you 15% off their whole range. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link for you in the description box. And if you decide to order something and you do it in the next few days, you'll receive it before US Mother's Day as well if you want to gift something. But now let's talk a little bit about my menu. But now let's talk a little bit more. I think that making a nice dinner for your mom can also be a really nice gift. They often do a lot of things for other people, mothers that is, and yeah, this is a lovely opportunity to do something really nice for them. To start off my menu, I'm not doing a traditional starter, but I'm doing a drink instead, because I think it's a really nice way of welcoming someone, and also to have a little bit of time to sort of stand around and chat, maybe while you're finishing the last touches on the main course. And my mom actually lives on her own, so she really enjoys having a drink in our company when we're together, because it's not really something she does on her own. So that's why it felt like an obvious choice for me to do a drink to start. And the drink I'm making is an elderflower and lime mocktail, which is super fresh for spring. But of course you could add a shot of vodka or gin if you wanted to spice things up a little bit. But yeah, let me show you how to make it. To start off, I'm going to slice up a lime, because I'm going to use those slices to decorate the drink with later. And I'm also going to squeeze in some lime juice into the glass, because lime along with elderflower are the two main flavors of the drink. Next up, I pour in some elderflower cordial, which gives that elderflower flavor as well as sweetness. If you want the drink to be completely alcohol-free, you would skip this step, but I'm adding some Angostura bitters to the glass as well, which gives a little bit of a bitter, spicy flavor. Then I'm grabbing a rosemary sprig that I'm just going to clap a few times between my hands to release the aroma, and I'm going to use that to whisk up the drink and start infusing that flavor into the drink. But mainly you will smell this when you're drinking the drink, which gives that kind of a herby flavor. Then I'm adding ice cubes to the glass and popping in those lime slices as well. And finally, I'm going to top up this drink with soda water, or you could use tonic water if you prefer. This gives a nice sparkling touch to this drink, and of course you would stir it up one last time to mix it all up before you drink it. So that's how simple my sort of fresh spring cocktail is to make. And of course you could serve some nibbles on the side if you wanted to have something to start with, like some olives or some salted nuts. To segue into the main course that I'm going to show you now. And my mom loves cauliflower, and this dish that I'm going to share with you is something we made a lot when she visited last time. And it's a whole cooked cauliflower that I serve on top of hummus with some duck on top, a bit of lemon, which is really sort of vibrant vibrant and fresh. And on the side of that, I'm gonna make a spring green salad with asparagus, which is my favorite spring vegetable that sort of gives a bit of luxury to anything, I think. And I'm going to serve this with some fresh bread that I'm not going to bake myself because there's like a limit to how much you can do, I think, when you're making several dishes. But I can really recommend to go to a good baker and get maybe a really nice baguette, or even a Middle Eastern baker, and getting some nice flatbreads to serve with this, because for an occasion it's nice to get a little bit of a higher quality bread. But you do you, and enough talking, let's make the main course. And for the main, I'm starting by prepping my cauliflower. This entails removing the leaves from it, which I save to use in other recipes. And then I chop off the stem so that I have a flat bottom to the cauliflower. As you can see here, it lays flat. Then I grab some vegan butter and I place it into a saucepan. And the saucepan should be big enough that it fits the whole cauliflower in there, but not have too much room on the sides. And then when the butter's in there, I'm popping the cauliflower into the pot and I'm pouring over some vegetable stock. Then I'm also going to season this with some salt and black pepper, and then place the lid over it and bring it over to the hob. You'll want to bring the vegetable stock to a boil to get some steam going on in the pot, and then turn it down to about a medium heat for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending a little bit on the size of your cauliflower. It should be soft all the way through when it's done, but it should never run out of liquid, and if it does, fill up with a little bit more vegetable stock. While the cauliflower cooks away, I'm going to prepare the dukkha that's going on top. For this, I'm toasting some raw pistachios in a dry pan over medium heat until they release a nutty aroma. This will take a few minutes only. Then I remove that from the pan and set it aside while I toast some spices. So here I've got coriander seed, cumin seed, and fennel seeds, and I'm toasting these for just a couple of minutes along with some sesame seeds until they're all golden and making little popping noises. This will only take a couple of minutes, and then I'm adding the pistachios along with the toasted spices into my food processor with an S-blade. I'm adding in some flake sea salt. Finally, I pulse the mixture a few times until I have a nice crumbly texture, full of flavor, and that is the pistachio dukkha done. I'm also going to top the cauliflower with some lemon zest and lemon juice, so I like to prepare this before I get on with making the salad. I'm just using a microplane to get the zest off a whole lemon, and then I slice it in half, and I keep one half for the cauliflower later, and the other half I will use for the vinaigrette for my salad. So to start off the vinaigrette, I add some olive oil to a jar along with the lemon juice. I top that up with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and I also add in some maple syrup for sweetness. Next, I'm adding in some Dijon mustard, which adds a little bit of a spicy hint. I'm also including some garlic powder, as well as salt and black pepper. Then to finish off the vinaigrette, I pop the lid on the jar and I give it all a good shake to combine and let it all emulsify, and then I set it aside while I prep the veggies. So I'm starting off with a gem lettuce that I'm just cutting the end off and breaking apart. If you can't get your hands on gem lettuce, you could use any type of crunchy lettuce that you like. Romaine would make a great substitute here, but I would cut that into chunky pieces rather than just keeping the leaves whole. For this salad, I'm going to prepare the asparagus by simply shaving it with a vegetable peeler. This is a great way of preparing asparagus when you want to add it raw to a dish, and an additional perk is that you get these really beautiful swirls of asparagus in your salad. I add my gem lettuce and my shaved asparagus into a mixing bowl. I'm also grabbing a couple of handfuls of baby chard, but you could use any leafy green that you like. I'm going in with some defrosted peas as well, and then I'm just pouring over the vinaigrette and tossing this all together to coat. I'm serving the salad on a flat plate to see all the beautiful shapes and the shades of green in there. And yeah, just play around with the plating as you see fit. Then to give the salad one last little luxurious touch, I'm shaving on some vegan parmesan over it. And I'm just using my vegetable peeler for this as well, which gets these really thin slices. At this point, our cauliflower should be well cooked, and I like to just skewer it through the center to see if it's done. And if it goes in smoothly, it's ready to serve. I squeeze over the juice from the half lemon I reserved earlier, and I set that aside while I pop some hummus onto a wide flat plate. You could use a good quality store-bought hummus here or make your own, and I'll make sure to link my recipe down below if you want to make it yourself. Then I place the cauliflower onto the hummus and I drizzle over some of the jus that's left at the bottom of the pan. I sprinkle over some of my pistachio dukkha, and I also like to serve the pistachio dukkha on the side so you can add more to your plate when you're sitting down at the table. Finally, I'm sprinkling over the fresh lemon zest to give a little bit of a zingy punch to an otherwise quite mild dish. And like I said, I'm going to serve this with some bread, so I just slice that up, and all of this makes a really fresh and vibrant main course. As a little side note, I'd love to also say that if you were ever making a messy spread, this whole cooked cauliflower on top of the hummus makes a really lovely vegetarian centerpiece, so that's a little tip from me to you. But otherwise, I like to just slice it up into 4 pieces when I serve so that everyone can get a nice chunky piece. So now we've done drinks and a yummy fresh main course, and of course we need dessert, at least when I'm making this menu with my mom in mind, because she definitely has a sweet tooth. And when I spoke to her about making this video, she said I should do a cheesecake. And now if you've been following here for a while, you know I like simple desserts, and I'm not too, I don't go too wild with baking. So of course I made a simpler version of a cheesecake in the form of a parfait. But don't worry, it's still a delicious dessert, and it still has all the components that make a cheesecake really yummy, because I can't let my mom down, of course, even though I have made a foolproof version where you don't have to worry about it not working out in the oven when you bake it. So yeah, let me show you how to make it. First off, I'm going to soak some cashews, and I'm doing this in boiling water, which means that it only takes about half an hour to soak them. But if you soak them overnight, you could do it in cold water. I set the cashews aside, and while they're soaking, I'm breaking up some oat biscuits that I got from the store. You could use any type of vegan biscuit that you like. If you want to make the dessert gluten-free, you could use gluten-free biscuits. And yeah, I'm just crumbling them with my hands. You could also do this in a food processor, but this is what you're going for. To sweeten the blueberries for the topping of my parfait, I'm using some agave syrup, but you could use maple syrup as well. And I simply use defrosted frozen blueberries, and I drizzle over the agave syrup. I simply give that all a good mix to combine, and then I set that aside as well. And this will make the really fruity, sweet and sour topping for the parfait. Finally, we're going to make the creamy vegan cheese layer for the parfait, and I'm starting off by adding some oat milk to my blender jug, and I'm also adding in some vegan cream cheese. I'm using the brand BioLife here, but any brand will work. I'm pouring in some agave syrup, and again you could use maple syrup if you prefer, and I'm adding in some powdered vanilla. You could also use vanilla extract, and then I'm grating in some lemon zest for a nice tangy touch to the filling. I'm also going to cut the lemon open and squeeze in some juice. And please avoid getting any pips in there. At this point, my cashews have soaked for a good amount of time, so I'm draining them and then popping them into the blender as well. And then I'm just going to blend this on medium speed using a wand to make sure that I press down all the pieces and making this filling really smooth. You'll want to use a good quality blender or food processor for this to make sure that you can achieve this kind of a silky smooth filling. To assemble the dessert, I'm adding the cookie crumbles to the bottom of small glasses, and then I'm pouring over the creamy vegan cheese filling that's now got a little bit of a vanilla and lemon touch to it. And the last layer are of course my sweetened blueberries that I just dollop on. And if you wanted to, you could prepare all the components beforehand and keep them in the fridge so that you can just assemble them just before you want to eat them. And I like to finish off each serving with a little sprig of mint, because it's always nice to have a pop of green to brighten things up. And the mint is also actually a really nice flavor along with the blueberry. That concludes my 3-course menu inspired by my mother for Mother's Day, but of course you can make these dishes anytime you like, and you'll find all of the recipes linked in the description box as always if you want to make them at home. And an early happy Mother's Day to all of you out there, and to my mom, grattis i förskott på mors dag, jag älskar dig. And don't forget to check out Anna Luisa's jewelry with the link down below as well, and their Mother's Day sale where you get 15% off. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.